I have a very special guest tonight. Oh, please, Paul, help me out. Smithyman.
That's great. That's how they say it in England.
That's how you say it in England?
That's
so I get
how
it
we
right?
say it in England, yes.
The PF of the Lincoln, and you're the co-producer of the Nightmare Horror Show.
I am indeed.
This is, Charles is the one. Charles Casano is one of my associate producers, and he's helped us with research on the weekly basis. He's a committed guy.
Good guy. We like Charles.
Yeah, I know Charles. We met at the Actors Studio back in 2003.
Gotcha.
And we love the craft, we love acting, we love movies, we love film. And he's very passionate about what he believes. So, and we're hearing a sound. Okay, let's concentrate it. You see what's going on here, Paul?
It's very entertaining. I'll give you that.
Oh my God. So let's talk about you coming to New York, coming from England.
Yes.
The whole story. How long?
Wow,
You've been here
I came here. I still have the London tube ticket that I took from the centre of London out to Heathrow Airport on July the 7th, 1993. That's when I came over for the first time.
And you fell in love with New York City?
I fell in love with New York City. I fell in love with a lovely American lady.
Yes.
That's why I came.
That's why you're here.
That's the only reason I came. Otherwise, I would have gone to London and done the same kind of silly stuff there.
What I love about you, I always try to see the good in everybody. And sometimes my friends, even my toughest critics say, Sissy, you're nice, you're too kind. Well, it's easy to be kind when you have special people in front of you. What we do is not easy. This is a craft, this is a business, and there's a lot of stress.
Indeed, yes.
So let's talk about your work in the Lincoln Center and what you're doing now, how you came up to this opportunity and the whole process.
Well, right now, talking of Charles, the way this has come around is Charles is our stage manager at the Nightmare Horror Shows right now, which is a production. I'm a member of Psycho Clan, which is the producing company that has put this festival together. And we're coming from 12 years of putting together the #1 haunted house in New York City, which was called Nightmare.
Right, I love it.
It was great. It was quite a trip, and 12 years is that's a lot of haunted housing to do. But we decided, as we're the members of Psycho Clan and the creators of Psycho Clan, we're all theatre folk.
Right.
We decided we wanted to go back to our roots in that respect, and try to put together the first horror festival of theatre in New York City ever.
Yeah.
Which is kind of amazing.
Right.
And we have 7 different shows running through October, right up to Halloween. On Halloween night, we'll have a big festival of fright, which will be a lot of fun.
I hope I can just make it. Hopefully you guys are going to invite me.
Charles, I'm sure we will.
Charles says, I'm so committed to this, and you got to get to know him. He's a great guy, but it seems to me you're very accessible, right? I mean, you're...
Why would one not be accessible?
Well, people sometimes they get a little difficult and frustrated. This is, I mean, when you have a lot of stress, when you have a lot to do, things can get a little crazy, right?
They certainly can, but it's always good to keep a broad, open mind and think about, you know, how hard it really could be. It can't be that hard.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, selecting the plays, how does it work in terms of like the kind of work? How do people submit? How does it work?
This year, because it's the first time we've done it, so it's a little crazy.
Right.
It was a bit of a journey to get here, but we had to start. We had to get going. 3 of the projects in the piece, in the festival, are Psycho Clan projects, which means that the members of Psycho Clan are the creators. I wrote a play that's called Eddie. My partner Tim Haskell, he created a piece called Smile. And Aaron Haskell, Tim's brother and also another member, he created a puppet show about a very unpleasant crow. So they're all Psycho Clan productions. Then we put out a request for other interested parties that were fancying a go at some kind of horror piece, and we were able to sift through a bunch of people and shows that were sent in, and we came up with a few that created a real varied experience of being frightened, of frightening people, of trying to terrorize people, which is what we're trying to do.
That's the skill.
Well, you know, we've learned a fair bit doing the haunted house, because that's really the key to that is understanding the anatomy of a scare. That's a thing that I discovered in the journey of that. So we were looking for different ways to do this. So we have a dance piece, which is very dark and full of dark energy. We have a couple of plays, a satirical piece. We have a magician that works with a seance that goes wrong. And then you have our pieces as well. So it's quite a varied experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that you hear about this kind of experiences every single day in New York. No. This is historic. This is the first time that it's happening.
Who else would be crazy enough to do this kind of a thing?
Right, but it's interesting because it's about exploring and learning. There's right?
An important thing for me about this, one reason why I really wanted to do this was, you know, the genre of horror kind of has been sort of pigeonholed in a particular way, where movies are made and are considered a certain kind of movie.
Right.
It's sort of ghettoized a little, and it's not in the mainstream of entertainment, in my opinion, taken seriously. So, you know, the modern horror experience comes from a literary form. From the end of the 19th century and the early 20th century, lots of great authors, and that's where the horror form, the modern horror form, came from. And so, you know, that's literature, that's high art. So why does everybody think that horror is just hack 'em, slash 'em, B-movie stuff?
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be that. So, small steps, you know, it takes time to do stuff like this, but we're having a go.
It's a lot of courage too.
Hey, just do it. We're theater people. You put another foot in front of the other one and keep doing it.
Right. What about Stephen King? Do you like him?
Yes, Stephen King. What a you know,
it would be
an
nice
amazing,
to
prodigious
have him
man.
come to see your work, you guys.
Sure,
honestly, make all that noise.
All that time will come. That time will come. We'll be fending them off with big sticks before we know it.
No, I know. Charles, Sissy, this is going to be interesting. You have to come up and see it. He's been so busy that we haven't.
That's right. Yeah, we've kept him busy.
It's like I barely see Charles. You know, even for texting, even sometimes we don't even have time to just sending a text to one another because I know how busy and I'm busy too. Now, the writing process, how does it work for you?
Well, for me personally, with the piece that I wrote, I mean, we've done over the years an awful lot of research about various unfortunate things. Two of the haunted houses were about real serial killers. It was Killers, and then there was Killers 2. And we did a whole bunch of research about real historical figures. And one serial killer that I did some research on, and we created a room for him, was a gentleman named Ed Gein. He was from Wisconsin in the 50s. And he was the first of the modern serial killers, as it were, and serial killer idea, as both Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the character of Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. They were all based on Ed Gein because he did some rather unfortunate stuff. So anyway, I
love how you put it, rather unfortunate stuff.
That's right. Well, I'd done a lot of research about him, so and there's lots of like true crime books and things like that, literature that's written about him. The thing that spurred me on for my piece was that the pictures of the man, he looks like a puppet. He actually looked, the real man, the pictures of the real guy looked like a puppet. So I'm like, why isn't there a puppet show about Ed Gein?
Right.
So that spurred me on, and I got into that and started writing quickly with the historical information that I had, and it's a short play about Ed, and he was very crafty, and he did lots of crafts and things like that, and he's doing his evil crafts for an audience. So.
Exploring dark nature is not easy. It's got to be challenging, I guess. I mean, shadows and what's dark and what makes you afraid and what scares you to death and the stuff that you don't want to think about, stuff that you don't dare to go to. I mean, those places are scary,
well,
right?
It's surprising when you're working on something like this and you're trying to make a good play. So there are things that you need to do to make a good play about dialogue and information and what's in the text, and you're making choices about what he's saying and why he would say it, and then you're thinking about about that in that form, but then all of a sudden you realize that, oh my goodness, he actually did these horrible things when he was alive, and I'm pulling it apart to make a play of it. It surprised me a couple of times doing that.
Do you dream about it? Do you have dreams about it? No, never. No.
Although early on when I did a bunch of research about serial killers, I really, it did get to me in that I did not want to watch movies about serial killers because I really didn't think it was the right kind of thing that we should entertain people with. I got over that eventually because there's other reasons to do stuff like that, but I didn't find it very entertaining because, you know, that kind of a human being is a very different creature to us, and the, you know, what they can do is really unfortunate.
But it's scary too to think that all humans, each one of us, we come from a background and we have experiences growing up, whether you have a mom or a dad or a brother or a sister, whatever my upbringing might be. Each one of us has a baggage, right?
There's a culmination of experience that creates human beings. You know, intellectually and emotionally, and then that creation then does things.
But if we do something bad, that's psychological, 100%. You think, or it's just pure instinct, or human nature is just is a mystery?
Oh, I think it's
genetics.
It's many things.
It's many things.
I think it's all of those and more. But the talk about nature and nurture and how young people grow, and how they are nurtured in comparison to their nature or in conjunction with their nature can create ways for them to act. So that's how things are, you know.
What about casting the actors?
Casting the actors?
Yes.
Well, the first thing I did is I called a collaborator of mine who is an amazing puppet creator. His name is Matt Aitchison. And I said, Matt, read this book. This guy needs to be a puppet. And he agreed, and he created this really wonderful, very evocative puppet for the stage. And then we went out, and the two of us talked about the way that the play moves and the kind of people that would be good for that. And we found two great actors, Patrick and Mary Stewart, and they're doing a really wonderful job with it.
Nice.
Great puppeteers.
Right.
Foremost, that's what they are.
But that's an art form. It takes,
yes, it is.
But it takes so
most
much time to
certainly is.
master too, right?
It does. It does. It's a particular skill, and it's a particular way that you access your imagination to have it go through you into this puppet, this inanimate object.
Okay.
That you bring to life.
Right.
By doing
it. Right. So, what's your inspiration in terms of your artistic blood? What turns you on in terms of like the work that you like to see, the kind of actors, the kind of books that you like to read, the stuff that is...
all manner of business. I mean, as a kid, I read an awful lot of comic books, and my son now, he's like comic book crazy, and that's great.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Oh my goodness, I had so many.
Superman is my favorite one. That's an easy one. Superman is the man.
It's really hard to pick between them. It really is. But I always enjoyed Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Which is a Marvel creation. He's like this magician, wizard, strange. Doctor Strange. He was a favorite of mine for a long time.
And the stuff like movies, like scary movies, stuff that...
I never was a fan of scary movies until I started to do this with Tim.
What you do, right.
With my friend Tim, and he gave me this list of 20, his favorite 20 horror movies, and I was like, oh my God, I have to watch all that stuff. And I have watched most of it. I didn't watch all of it. And it was pretty scary stuff.
Yes. I remember when I read The Shining years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Because I saw the movie, obviously everybody knows Jack Nicholson, everybody knows the film, but I remember clearly when I read the book, Paul, I had nightmares for an entire week.
Well, a really interesting thing that I like to ask folks is what was that first movie that utterly scared the living daylights out of you? For me, it was Alien. I saw Alien when it first came out, and I was like 12 or 13, and I was shaken to the core. I couldn't be in a dark room, and I couldn't sleep. Oh my God! That one really, I still have trouble watching that film now.
Really? That's interesting.
You know, I'm a big grown man now, and I still have problems watching it. I haven't watched it in a very long time because it still makes me feel, So it's always fun to ask people, what was that first film that scared the
The
scared
Shining
living-
was the one that
Yeah.
I can't recall. That it's like, you know, I was like, and when I read the book, it was an entire week that I had nightmares every single day.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's like, I don't know, dark and shadows and whatever it scares you. I
Well,
mean, we don't want to deal with stuff like that, do we? But we do.
We do.
We all
indeed.
have shadows. We have pain. We have baggage. We have suffering. We have experiences, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, let's talk about the difference for you between London and New York. Now that you live here, that this is your country now, how do you see it? How do you feel?
Well,
How you compare
I've
the
never,
two?
I haven't spent a lot of time in London because I'm
No.
not from London. I'm from an area called the Black Country, which is in the middle of England, just north of Birmingham.
Okay.
And New York City is the first city I've ever lived in. I never lived
Okay.
in another city.
Okay.
So you go from 0 to max, basically. And
So basically, you're here, and do you like to travel? Do you like
Sure.
to?
Yes, absolutely. Whenever you can. I mean, the business we're in, sort of in the theatrical business, you get eaten up a lot, and time just disappears, and you're going from project to project, and all that keeps happening to you. So it's you have to be intentional in finding time to travel. Yes. The last great trip I had was my honeymoon with my wife Garrett. We went to Norway, which
Oh, I heard
was
that it's
stunning.
beautiful.
And the thing that I came away with it thinking was, it's such an impressive landscape. No wonder the Norse gods were so impressive. With all
Yes.
these big, huge characters, because the fjords are stunning. And
Yeah, I have a
that
friend of mine
landscape.
who's an actor, Peter. Oh God, Peter! I forgot his name. He's gonna kill me. Anyway, he's an actor of mine. He's taking the class with Mrs. Kemp, Elizabeth Kemp, but he's from Norway, and he says, "Sissy, that's a beautiful country." It's not because I come
Stunning.
from Norway, but it's a
It's
very,
stunning.
it gets in your blood.
Yes, I definitely want to go back.
You have to go and visit and see. Now, let's talk about when the show's going to come up. I mean, you are in rehearsals now.
No, we're running right now.
We're running now, the show, okay.
We're running now right through Halloween night.
Okay.
And the schedule is all on the website, which is nightmarenewyork.com, all one
Okay.
word. And the entire schedule's there. You can see the combinations of shows on different nights and pick out your favorites.
Yeah, I seen the website. Charles sent me the links, and I said, "Oh, wow, the black and the red and all these powerful colors."
Hey, it's
You
horror
know-
time.
You know what you're doing. Now, talk about the Lincoln Center a little bit, the experience of working there.
Well, I'm very lucky to
It's a privilege to be there.
absolutely. It's an amazing place. Lincoln Center Theatre is where I work, and I've been there for quite a while now, 20 years.
So you have a pretty good taste about what's good, what's not good. Everything is subjective. Are you tough
Yeah.
enough, or you think that? How does it work? Because you've seen a lot of work. You've
I've
seen a lot of productions taking
I've
place.
seen a lot of plays and
Right?
musicals, and I've worked on many too, as well. So it's just tremendous that I can say, as an adult, I've only really worked in the theatre. I'm very lucky. What's better than that? I get to play with amazing people that know how to play every day.
Right.
It's about as good as it gets.
It's a privilege,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and when I get a little tired and a little stressed out, I'm like, chill out. You could be doing a lot worse than this. This is a lot of fun.
What's your sign? Because you're so. No, let me guess. I'm not playing psycho now, but let me guess. You gotta be Leo. No, not Taurus, Leo. No, I got it
Cancer.
wrong. Cancer. Help
I
me,
believe,
God.
not that I know much about that
Yeah.
stuff, but
But you have a good energy, very subtle energy.
well, thank you. I try not to be too nuts.
Right, but we're gonna be a little crazy, do we? I mean, are we sane? Are we completely?
Well, it depends
In
who's
our
saying you're
minds.
sane or not. We're either active and not passive. I'm a pretty active person. I keep doing things, not always the best things to do, and I
Right.
get tired out. And but it's an active life that,
Right.
that I think is a good life.
Do you do meditation?
I do meditate, yes.
Of course, that's why you're so calm.
Well, I study at the Shaolin Temple down in Chinatown with a 34th generation Shaolin monk his name is Shifu Xiaming. And we do what's called action meditation, which is a series of kung fu exercises that have come down through the centuries. And the point is through that action and through the motion of that action, you're actually able to get out of your head, which is the same as meditation.
Can we get out of our heads? I mean, I try to meditate as much as I can, but sometimes it's a little tough for me to leave my mind in silence. That's a big challenge.
It's a big challenge. Silence is not what we're used to, but it's very important. You've got to find some time to let all the other stuff go.
For balance?
For balance, yeah. For energy, for moving forward, for the ability to be compassionate and help other people, and not, always be about you.
You're a troubleshooter. You solve problems. You don't like to be stressed out. Is this a situation that comes on stage? Are you dealing with actors, dealing with designers, dealing with people who come to the picture? Your job is to say, okay, guys.
Absolutely. I solve problems for a living. Yes, I do.
This is what you do. So it takes a right frame of mind to do that.
Yes.
I'm not saying that you're going to give your secret away, but how does it work?
Not too much ego.
No.
It's never about,
I don't see much of
rarely
that.
about you.
Yes.
What it's about is...
It's about the work.
It's about artists trying to tell stories, and telling stories is vital to life. There is no life without stories, so it's actually a really important job to tell stories either on the stage, in TV, and in the movies, in books, in magazines, in art. Telling stories is vital. We can't live without them. So
we need to communicate.
It's vital for that, yeah. And without communication, there's no groups, there's no communities, and people can't support each other and find ways to survive. That's how it all began.
Right. Do you go to the theater much? Do you see work? Do you like to see?
I mean, of course, I'm in the theater a lot. So
yeah,
I
but you go to see, let's say, on West 4th, I don't know, in the middle of, or even in Brooklyn, where uptown. Do you go? Do you like to explore
Yes, I try
things?
and get out as much as I can. It's tough because I spend a lot of time in the theater, so I don't see as much as I would like to. But of course, all my peers and friends are in the business too. So most of my peers and friends, I should say. So I want to go support them, see this, see
and
that.
go see. Do you go to the public a lot? Do you like the public theater?
I like the public theater. They're great.
Me too, I love
they
it.
do great stuff. Yeah, all over the city. When I first moved to the city, I lived on the corner of 2nd Avenue and 4th Street.
Okay.
And that was in the 90s, and there were 7 theaters on our block. It was amazing.
So you went to the theater every night?
It was just amazing that you just walk down the street and you're surrounded. So.
How do you meet your wife?
My wife, Garrett, I met at Lincoln Center. She was performing in South Pacific.
South Pacific, yeah, I read about that.
And yeah, that was great.
It was love at the first sight. You're quick with the answers, man. I'm trying to get you one answer, but you got the answers. You go right away. You go. I have a bad cold that I'm battling. So I'm trying to not pay attention to what's going on in the back of my head, considering that I've been... don't worry, I'm not going to get you sick. I'm okay. But it's a challenge to be present sometimes.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the advent of the machines.
Right. That's your phone. Yes.
That's actually a serious thing that's affecting people
right?
now.
Are we addicted to technology?
Well,
Paul, what do you think?
There's a certain amount of that that goes on, but the danger of the selfie, it's a dangerous thing.
Really?
It's so self-involved.
It is, but it's fun. Listen, I used to hate, growing up, I didn't enjoy myself in front of the camera. I don't like to see myself in front of the camera. And for me to even take a picture, I don't like pictures. I never like pictures. I never considered myself photogenic. I hated the camera. I cannot even tell you. But now I have so much fun. Just it's just fun. If it's for healthy reasons. But of course, you're right. It's a lot of self-involvement. It's a lot of. It's not about us. It's about the other, right? It shouldn't be so much energy.
You can't be there if you're thinking about taking a picture all the time, and you're missing out on life. You're missing out on experiences.
What about taking notes? You taking notes a lot?
Take notes is great
It's
because
good,
you
because I
gotta
always
you
taking
gotta
notes.
connect to take notes.
Right.
That's important.
But images are
just
not,
taking
the pictures, selfies are out.
Not for me.
Not for you.
You won't
I
find
wanted to
any.
wrap it up because I know that you have to go, but I want to ask you all these questions. Look, I mean, checking my notes here because I want to, but it's impossible to cover all your experience and what you've done in the theater. It's like it would take more time than obviously 28 minutes to wrap it up. Asking you simple 2 questions. What makes, in your opinion, a great actor? What kind of actors drive your passion? What kind of people, like you say, oh my God.
Well, great actors are what I call emotional athletes. Okay, I can't do it. I can't get there emotionally. When they're able to, whilst telling a story, be emotionally completely there and sharing
Emotionally
with
naked.
us, sharing with everyone the emotion that they're feeling. That's a special gift, and not all of them can do it. Only the good ones can do it.
Who do you like? Bring me a few names.
Oh, there's many.
I know it's unfair and it's a stupid question, and I know I sound silly and shallow.
I fell in love with Cherry Jones many years ago. She is one of the greatest actresses on the stage. I like Billy Crudup. I think he's a great actor. It just goes on and on. I could go on forever.
I love all the British actors. I love the Australian actors. I love Jeffrey Rush.
Jeffrey Rush and Hugh Jackman is an amazing actor.
Hugh Jackman.
What a great guy. And he's a good guy too. He's a really nice fella.
He seems very nice, accessible, open, grounded, not too much ego. Right, when ego gets in the way, it's just not good.
Yeah, no, it separates people.
Yes,
So
you're
you don't
right.
want that. You don't
What
want
about Judi Dench, Redgrave,
Judy,
Emma
oh my
Thompson?